Yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. What is up, everybody? I gotta get these grays taken care of. And I gotta get this nail taken care of. So, I told you guys that the nuisance, who will not be named, who shall remain nameless, would be in the psych ward by the end of the week. Rowan, didn't I tell you? Psych ward by the end of the week. It's the end of the week, and exactly 2.5 hours ago, the neighbors called the cops. Apparently, Mr. I'll siphon your energy and your wealth. Mr. I'm not, my practice is bullshit. Mr. Tough guy forced me to do something. And all I did was the little skull candle and the little vigil to Ishtar. I didn't even get a chance to do sihr yet. I was gonna do it Friday, but I was tired. I had enough. I was working all day trying to get my shit done, catch up these fucking readings. And for those of you who are waiting for your reading, bear with me. I do have an emergency court hearing now tomorrow and one on Tuesday because of this whole situation. I unfortunately had to evict him, and I'm not a mean person, but I can't have my house being lit on fire because of his psychosis. I can't have him running around the neighborhood naked, upsetting my neighbors. I can't have, I can't have the accusations of being siphoning his myths. I mean, I'll post some of the craziness that he was posting on my stories on here, and I'll just cross out his name because I'm not trying to. Some of you know who this is. Some of you follow this person, probably because of me, or maybe you found him before me. He has a bigger following than me on TikTok, believe it or not. I mean, TikTok is not hard to get big on. If I wanted to, I could have. I already have nearly 10,000 followers on that bitch, and that was just from that one interview that I did with Tacos and Shawarma. Shout out Tacos and Shawarma. You guys have to follow her. Tacos and Shawarma. Sorry, I say words in Arabic. I'll never forget some dumbass douchebag because I was trying to pronounce sihr in English and I said sihr, sihr. I couldn't do it, but I was trying so you guys would know how to spell it in English and, just know what it is. And they made a comment of back in 2000 and whatever year it was, 2019, she called it seer instead of sihr. Wouldn't she know how to pronounce it if that was a practice that was in her family for ages? Bitch, I was trying to say it in English, you fuck. Anyway, people are so dumb. They think they're so profound, but they're really idiotic. Anyway, tacos and shawarma. Shout out Elle. Go watch her if you haven't seen my interview on her channel. But it's shawarma. That's how you pronounce it properly. Anyway, I told you guys, I told some of you as my witness, Rowan is my witness, I said I'd have that motherfucker back in the psych ward by the end of the week. It is exactly the end of the week. And I just did it on Tuesday. I posted it. I posted it on my stories yesterday. And I'm not a mean person, you guys. I'm a good person. But when somebody is... This is the same person that I gave a home to. I gave it to him at very cheap. Cheaper than market value. If you look up a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, finished basement that can be used for additional living space with a closet, so it can be used for a studio, an additional, an office, or a bedroom because it has a closet, which would legally make it a bedroom. So technically it would be a 4-bedroom, but it's big, so I mean, it'd be kind of a waste to use it as a bedroom unless you got a teenager that, wants a little mini apartment kind of down there. Thank you. Sending your spirits love to dear Shireen. Sophia, thank you, Habibti. Thank you, my love. I miss you, Habibti. I hope all is well with you. Miss you so much. But look that up in West Haven, right? So look up 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, finished basement with a closet can constitute an extra living space. Then a washer, dryer in half of an unfinished finished part of the basement. So there's a wall. So it's like 2 parts of a basement. So double basement, one finished, one not. And full washer dryer, and parking, which is very limited in West Haven. Private driveway, a fenced in yard, newly renovated and remodeled, new appliances, new paint, new flooring, new bathrooms, new everything. Did I say fenced in yard? Yes. Screen, porched with vinyl enclosures, so you can close the vinyl windows and make it like a completely like enclosed porch, and a private parking, which is like very unheard of, right off of I-95 in walking distance to all your needs, your Walmart, your gas station. There's 7-Eleven right next door. There's a Starbucks, even though I do not support Starbucks personally, but there's also a Dunkin' Donuts. There's right there, like right across from the Starbucks. There's everything you need. Literally, you could walk. Cemeteries, churches, everything, walking distance. I mean, for us witches or sorcerers, he calls himself sorcerer. And I gotta go to court with this fucked up nail. I gotta get these done. I haven't had time to even get my nails done. Look, since Christmas. Look at this shit. I've not had time. Look at this shit. I've not had time to get my hair done. Nothing. Just work. And for those of you who are waiting for readings and or consultations, I'm getting to everybody as fast as I can. My readings were supposed to be closed now a year and a half ago. They weren't. And everybody that's on my schedule are people that take well over an hour or 2. Even 3, 4. I had one person I was on the phone with for 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 fucking hours. Love you, but 6 fucking hours. And that is not including chit chat, hi, bullshit, how are you? This was explaining on and on, one situation after the other situation after the other situation after the other. And this happened, 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 and this happened. Then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. So I'm trying, but I mean, I have to get my work done. That's priority. I used to have a 4-month wait, and it was already pre-written. And Gabby had better made it clear that because you're booking when I'm out of stock, don't hound me because I am getting to everybody I can. And hence why we are in this predicament, because she kept booking when she was not supposed to, trying to appease and accommodate everybody. So I will get to you. The consults, the minis, are not a problem. The only problem is some of them are out of the country. I've tried calling them a few times, and it's late there, but that's the hours we gave them. And of course, I understand people fall asleep, and I will circle back to them. But you go back to the end of the line when you miss my call. And I call multiple times over and over. And some people give me numbers that don't work direct. They give WhatsApp numbers, and I don't use WhatsApp. I use FaceTime audio or direct call, which I pay for by the minute, which sucks because I can't get WhatsApp to work. But whatever. So if you are a consult, don't forget, if you live in a different country, I do not know every country code by heart, and ChatGPT doesn't always work to find the correct country code. You'd be surprised how many countries have similar area. Not Allah, Allah, Habibi, Allah, 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 make Allah. Jannah Salim. Shukran, Habibi. تعالي جنة سليم. تعال جنة سليم، كون مع راقل، خليه يتنفس ساحل، خليه ينام بالسلام، خليهوش يتعذب. Anyway, back to what I was saying of the psycho person. I'm getting to each and every one of you. Minis shouldn't have a problem, but if I was unable to reach you, or I thought it was just an inappropriate hour by the time I got off the phone with everybody else, because they're, in a schedule, I didn't want to call you at like some ridiculous hour, and like 5, 4, 3 a.m. your time, then I just soon put it off till the next time, or if you didn't answer. So anyway, but you're not forgotten. Gabby made flexibility a must if we were going to schedule you, because we were supposed to be closed. And your wait is just for the consult. Once you get the consult, you don't have to wait months for me to start your work. I start your work within 2 weeks, okay? Because of the moon phases. 2 to 3 weeks at most, but 2 weeks is generally max because each moon phase lasts 2 weeks. So depending on when I book you, 2 weeks is generally max what I need to start the work. Anyway, so I have you wait for the consult so you don't have to wait for me to start the work, which I'm sure you guys would rather wait for the consult than actually pay for the consult, get the consult, and then wait months, me do it right away, and then me wait months for the work. You get the way out of the way for the consult. Anyway, it's almost 2 a.m. here, guys. So yeah, I said that this fucker would be in a mental hospital. I did the spell, which you can see. I did it, posted on my story, but it's also in the picture of this video, and it clearly says psych ward on the vigil. I wasn't being mean. He was already spiraling. I just expedited it. And I will show you stories as to why. Don't be mad because you're chopped. What the fuck does that mean? Don't, don't be mad because you're chopped. What does that mean? Am I missing something? Oh, thanks, Lawrence. You guys know how to. You're too slow. I'm too slow. You mean two as in TOO? You put your two TO slow. It's your two TOO slow. When you say two, when you're too slow, like too much, it's TOO, not TO. Just to correct that. If you're gonna call me slow, at least spell correctly. I'm not slow. I'm actually booked and busy. I don't know if you meant that kind of slow, but if you meant mentally slow, I mean, if you're gonna call me slow, spell it correctly. Anyway, yeah, use proper grammar, exactly. But I'm not slow. I just give everybody the time that they need. If that's the kind of slow you meant, I don't know which slow you meant, but I'm assuming you were trying to be slick and say I'm slow, as in, mentally slow. But it's ironic when you don't know the difference between TO and TOO. Anyhow, you just cute, don't mind them. Thank you, Lawrence. Trolls are out this time. They're always out, girl. But anyway, so like America type shit. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're going through. I have a son that's bipolar schizophrenic, and when he isn't up to date on his meds, he's not the same person that he usually is. It's not good. Exactly, and that's the thing. I'm not a mean person, but if you guys, I'm gonna post some of these posts. They were talking about seeing me come through the mirror. He said he broke my mirror, which is concerning. I can only imagine what the inside of the property looks like. And I didn't charge him a security deposit because I was trying to help him. Even though he just put 10 grand down on a car. When I met this kid, like I said, he was living, if you watch the first one, he was living in his dad's basement, literally. I mean, not being facetious, that we always say, haha, you live in your mom's basement. No, he was literally living in his dad's basement, getting bitten up by fleas, according to him, on a flea infested couch, living in filth, doing people's work in filth, spiritual work, which, I mean, I suppose you could do curse work in that type of environment, but love work, money work, things of that nature, no. You have to be in a clean environment, energetically clean and physically clean. It was filthy. He didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. He didn't have 2 cents to rub together and make a third. He was happy that he had a reading I booked a reading with him because I saw him on TikTok, like I said. I thought it was funny and I liked his personality. And it's amazing how different somebody is when you speak to them. He did the reading. The reading was wrong. I don't want to be mean, but it was totally off. And then he had the audacity to say that he did something for me and it manifested. What did you do for me, sir? I did work for you. What are you talking about? But again, he said this in a spiral. I felt bad for his financial situation. I did spiritual work for him, specifically prosperity work and crown of success work. It manifested within a month. He was making money he had never seen before in his entire life of living, in his entire existence. He right away spent $10,000 on a new vehicle, not even just being smart and buying one, maybe for 15,000, maybe get a small little car loan. Or if I were him in his financial place, I would have just bought a car that I could buy outright. It might not be the best, but it would be decent, and you can get a decent car for 10 grand if you look. But no, of course not. He had to put it down on a brand new vehicle because with shitty credit, excuse me, with shitty credit, it's actually easier, believe it or not, to buy a brand new vehicle because the banks, especially when you put 10,000 down, because the banks figure, okay, well, they put 10,000 down, a large amount down, they have a lot to lose. And it's a brand new vehicle, so if they don't make the payment and we have to repo it, it has more value. We have more of a chance of getting our money back. So he did that at like 1,000,000% interest. So he had like $800 car payments plus insurance, which, I mean, hey. Then he started, charging more than me by like, I can't even say quadruple. It was more like quintuple or more, plus expedite fees at $1,000 per spell. Not even just on top of how people were paying this and why they would pay that is beyond me. I'm shy to even quote like my prices at all, even as even a cheap price. I'm shy to talk about money. I don't like to talk about money. I rather quote in writing that way or have Gabby quote. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's an Arab thing, but I would never have the balls in life, nor would I ever do that, or just the heart to charge somebody. I wouldn't have the balls or the heart to charge somebody some crazy amount like fucking $10,000, $14,000. I don't, whatever. Some people have multiple people working with them. So, okay, I could understand that. Like, Haitian practitioners do that. And like santeros and paleros, they might do that because there's a group of them and they like get goats and shit like that, sacrifices. So I'm not talking about everybody, but one single 25-year-old man little boy really, who doesn't know his ass from his elbow, don't know his asshole from a hole in the ground, and just started practicing not that long ago. He's still a baby witch, technically. I mean, anything 5 years or less and is considered to me a baby witch. Okay, so he's just at, I don't even think the 5 year mark. I think he's at the 4 year mark. So to be charging those prices when a month prior to meeting me, no, literally days prior to meeting me, you were charging freaking dollar consults and $30 curses and all sorts of shit. You go from $30 curses and $50 spells to charging 5,000, 3,000, fucking ridiculous prices. Like, are you crazy, bro? Like, so you were only worth $30 And then all of a sudden you woke up one day and thought you were worth tens of thousands of dollars. That just doesn't make sense. But okay, that's scammy. But you know, I'm never the type to talk about what other people charge. People have a right to charge what they want. That's, you know, capitalism. That's this country. It's legal. People can charge whatever they want. Unless it's price gouging, like, you know, it's scummy. But price gouging is when, you know, like there's a storm or something, or we're low on, let's say, gas or something that's a necessity, and like stores will charge you fucking $10 for a bottle of water because they know a hurricane is coming. That's illegal. That's price gouging. But for somebody to charge an outrageous price for what their service is or their product is, that's legal. You're allowed to charge what you think you're worth or what you feel like. And if people are willing to pay, they're willing to pay. These reading glasses are not even strong enough. I need to get new ones. I have a bunch. I need stronger ones. Gosh. I know, I'm such an old lady. No, there's a... Such an old lady. Don't look at my grays. Don't look at them. Oh, my gray hair. I need to get these on. My hair's gonna be dark again when I'm done. Okay, are these better? Okay. Overextended his expenses and needed to make up somehow his car payments. $30 curses is wild. Isn't it though? Yeah. $30. Sure, miss you, sis. Hope and pray I'll finally be able to talk to you soon. It's been too long. Love you, and also sending my love to Rocco. Another fur baby. Thank you, Habibti. You see how Jinnah Salim, you heard Rocco coughing, and I just called Jinnah Salim, and he helps. Hala Toxica. I told you, bitch. I told you he would be in the psych ward by the end of the week. I got the call from the cops at 11 p.m. He was picked up and hospitalized. I said I would. Did I, Rowan? La Toxica? I spoke to you guys on the phone. I don't know if I mentioned in the live or not, but I definitely told people on the side. That motherfucker. She said it. Thank you, Roro. Did I not? By the end of the week, and exactly the end of the week, Sunday. I mean, you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Oh. You hurt my feelings. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Fucking pussy ass bitch. Don't make me start speaking curses on you, motherfucker. My own husband, when he pissed me off, I speak shit. I just say, you're going to get into a blah, 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 and then it happens. So I gotta watch my words because they're powerful. So don't make me speak some bad shit on you. Because sometimes you know, you don't want to get yourself hurt. But go ahead and fuck with me if you want to. You might want to ask somebody. Anyway, so he was posting really disturbing things. Clearly posting curses that he was doing on me. And I'm not going to stand for it. And I need him out of my house. I mean, talking about, didn't I say that he hated being white? For those of you who don't know who this is, fart in a jar and sell it. How about I fart in your mom's mouth? I know she'd like it. That's how you were made, I'm sure.
That's the type of guy that wants to buy the fart.
I know, he's cursing me. You're cursing me, or you're cursing me. Sure you are, buddy. Okay, you asked for it. SC1684. Hold on. See, I take threats very literally.
You're gonna be on this.
There you go. He gave you a fart. Fucking drug addict. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. Oh, I was a drug addict, actually. Good guess. I was. Been clean 10 years, motherfucker. I'm sure you would know, though. You're probably a crack baby yourself. Anyway. But yeah, I was addicted to prescribed pain pills, if you want to know. Fucking non-pussy getting bitch. Here, you guys want to see his thing? Fucking drug addict. Yeah, you non-pussy getting ass bitch. Arab. Ooh, look, this is racist. Arab. Ooh, Arab. I love being an Arab, actually. Technically, I'm a Semitic. I'm a Semite, but I'm Arabized. But I mean, yeah, I'm an Arab and I'm proud Palestinian. Hide user. There we go. Anyway, you're blocked, so don't. When on the jobs I have to poop in buckets, then I leave them at gas station pumps for people to find. Okay. Of course, I do my community prayers. I do my own prayers with my family for Palestine. But if anybody wants to do community prayers, I would love to set that up. I know, just block. If you don't know how to block and you're a moderator, hit hide person. So you're going to click on it and it'll say hide user on this channel, and that's how you block them permanently and not just time them out. When you time them out, they can just come back, and it just makes it harder to hide them because then you got to wait for them to come back. But anyway, let's do a community prayer for Palestine, my homeland, where I am a citizen of. And actually, I will be going back in October for my cousin's wedding. I was afraid of going back and getting arrested, but fuck it. I believe my jinns, my spirits will keep me protected. And fuck them. If they want to arrest me for freedom of speech, even though you do know that they're taking our freedom of speech in this country now. Do you know that criticism of Nazi real Izzy Pop? And I use those words because certain words trigger the algorithm to slow the video down. Anybody want to debate me on Izzy Pop or Piss Real? I would absolutely love to debate anybody who has the balls to debate me on the subject. Anybody wants to debate me on what's in the Torah? You Arab poop eater. Look, they have another. What are you? Are you Israeli? Are you Israeli? Is that all you could say? Of course. How? Okay. How intelligent. That's all you can say. You era poop eater. Don't see, I'm not gonna stoop to that racist shit. Okay, but if you want to actually come at me with facts and have an intelligent debate, I will be down to do that. I watched Mo and it woke up some love for Palestine. Ah, Habibi, mwah, or Habibti, thank you. We appreciate all the love. Thank you, Kitty Meow. Wow, wow. Thank you, Habibti, for the super chat. We are Arabic, yes. We are Arab, but we are Semitic, and people need to remember that only because they keep using the anti Semitism bullshit, forgetting that we're the actual Semites. Now, Palestinians are descendants of the Canaanites. Before it was Palestine, before it was Balad Hashem or Bar Hashem, which is the Levant, it was called Canaan or Canaan. The Canaanites were a polytheistic people. They were invaded by the Israelites who entered 3,300 years ago. But the Canaanites lived there pre-Israelite days. So it's funny that they claim to be indigenous to the land. There are some that are also descendants of the Canaanites. I'm not going to lie and say they're not. Because what happened was there were the Canaanites, the Israelites invaded, the Greeks invaded, the Romans invaded, the Crusaders invaded. Bunch of people fucking invaded. And that's why, like, when you see the churches now, a lot of the writings on, like, on the walls and stuff are in Greek. Hence why most the Palestinians that are Christian are Greek Orthodox, because when they invaded, the the only priests at the time, aside from the Catholics, I believe that the Greeks and the Greek Orthodox and Catholic actually started as the same church. They started as one, like, religion. It was like they're two limbs of the same tree, basically. But the Orthodox is much more, they are stricter in terms of, like, there's no cremation whatsoever. Catholics allowed cremation starting in, I believe it was 1965. It was sometime in the 60s, but before that, the Catholics did not allow cremation in any capacity. You had to be buried, and that was it, or put in a mausoleum. Your body had to be whole. There was no desecration of the body. And they couldn't agree on, like, certain holidays. For example, Three Kings Day, what we call, like, the Catholics would call Three Kings Day, is actually Greek Orthodox Christmas, which is January 6th is the Eve. January 7th is Greek Orthodox Christmas Day. And Easter, usually the Greek Orthodox Easter is about a week after the Catholic Easter. Once in a while, the Easters will fall on the same week, but not, it's rare. So they were basically one religion, and then they couldn't agree on certain things, like, Catholic priests are not allowed to marry. Greek Orthodox priests, as long as they were married prior to becoming priests, they can stay married. They can still become a priest when they're married. So there's different rules. With the Greek Orthodox, my family is Orthodox. but as I said, my grandmother, who was a spiritualist, she was a healer, she was a um, ruhaniya, what we call a ruhaniya, like a wise woman, a spiritual woman. She knew the Quran, she knew the Torah, she knew the Talmud, she knew pretty much every spiritual and religious theology. And she, of course, knew sihr, and she was amazing at it. She read, finjan. She used to read the cups. And in our, culture, where I got my holy oils with the prosperity oil, the all of that, the fertility oil, the prosperity oil has cinnamon. It has cinnamon sticks on the bottle. You can see prosperity oil. I could show you right now, actually. Hold on. I got it at the church. So clearly this is not, I got it at I got some at the Knesset Yama, and I got some at the Orthodox Church. The Armenian Orthodox, not Armenian, the Coptic Armenian, the Coptic Orthodox. I'll show you guys. Here, just to give you an idea. Oh, it's dark in here. Oh, look, I happened to grab, it's so dark, I'm surprised I could see it. Cinnamon and prosperity anointing oil. Okay? In the light. You see the cinnamon sticks? Okay? And it says it's made in Jerusalem. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty from getting it on my hands and then grabbing it. Okay, but it has cinnamon. And then we have others. This is from the church. I got this from the church. I have this sent to me from my cousins. I could order it off Amazon, but I don't know what the fuck if it's real or not. So this I know is authentic because my cousins go to the church and they pick it up. And now, as dangerous as Jerusalem is because of the constant fighting between the Jews and the Palestinians, it's dangerous for her. So, see, look, pomegranate oil, and this is for fertility. I got this at the church, okay, in my country. And of course, blessing from Jerusalem, okay. It says made in Israel. I want to spit, but I'm not going to. It's Palestine, regardless. So, who gives a rat's ass? Well, clearly you fucking pussy. I'm an American. You support eyes? I support a dick in your mouth. How about that? Who gives a shit? Clearly you, James Hammer. Where your head at? Who gives a rat's ass? But he's in this live. You guys know how fucking stupid you sound? You guys are fucking, you're dumb as fuck. Who gives a rat's ass? Who gives a rat's ass? But yet you're in here commenting, pussy. Fucking weirdo. You clearly do, bitch. How about you go get your non-existent fucking girlfriend some monostat? Because I'm sure the next bitch that will ever touch you is going to have a severe yeast infection. Anyway, this anointing oil with frankincense, myrrh, and spikenard. Okay, And then I got others with hyssop, cleansing oil. This all came from the church. So tell me, what is the difference between this and my prosperity oil or my fertility oil? What has this in it? Money oil. What's the difference? This is witchcraft and this isn't? No, it's not. In the Orthodox Church, we burn juniper leaf to get rid of evil spirits. We burn bachur, frankincense, and myrrh to get rid of evil spirits. We do rituals when people get married where we go around in circles around the altar, and it's like a representation of the sacred, infinity, like a circle, like the ring is, it never ends. We go around in circles as the priest follows us. Now Justin was, baptized Catholic, and I was baptized Orthodox. So we couldn't get married in a Orthodox church or a Catholic church because he wasn't willing to switch and I wasn't willing to switch, not because of any religious reason, just because we didn't feel like it. So, because I don't really subscribe to the doctrine 100%. I do obviously take what I believe is true and I throw away what I think is bullshit. And of course, it was written by men, so of course there's bullshit in there. But the point I make is that in the Orthodox religion, there are a lot of witches. The witches of Romania, they're all Orthodox Christian. Okay, they're I don't know which one, whether it's Greek or Coptic or whatever, but the only difference between like Greek Orthodox and Coptic Orthodox and Roman Orthodox or whatever is they pray in Greek. One prays in Arabic. One pray like so. That's the only difference. Orthodox is Orthodox. Russian Orthodox, they pray in Russian. But Orthodox is Orthodox. There are the gypsy witches of Romania, or the Romani. I think gypsy is a slur now. I'm not sure, but the Romani witches, if you look them up, the most powerful witches of Romania, they made this whole this whole thing about them. Yeah, Russian Orthodox. They pray. The only difference is they pray in that language, but the overall belief structure is the same. Have I had any experience with the 72 Goesha? Let me get to that. Okay. The 72 Goesha, how interesting is it? That's pretty much a spin of the lesser key of Solomon. And some European guy, I think it was Arthur Crowley or maybe even somebody before him, that decided that they would bastardize the names of demons. Like King Payman, for example, is a Middle Eastern. In my opinion, he's a jinn, just not a king. He's not a jinn king for sure. However, his name was not Paimon. That is not a Middle Eastern name. They bastardized Middle Eastern names. They call Hecate and a lot of Lilith and all of that. They basically took the 72 jinn that King Solomon controlled and they bastardized the names and they kind of rewrote it to, I don't know, fit their narrative. So I don't really subscribe to the Goetia. But it's basically like appropriated magic, basically. Alhamdulillah, he's doing. Thank God he's okay. So, real quick, I'm hopping all over the place. So let me go back to Cuckoo for Coco's renting my house. So if you look up the houses in West Haven, you'll see that the range for rent is $2,900 to $3,900. Where for a full house, okay, that's apartments included in there. So we're talking that's low to high. We're talking apartments to houses. But we're talking about with not nearly the amenities. There were apartments I saw for 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom that were much smaller. His house, my house that he rented was about 2,300 square feet, and that's including, babe, how big is the Sorensen house?
24.
Including the basement? About 2,400 square feet, living square feet, including the basement. So we're talking about apartments that were half the size and no parking. You had to park on the street. I remember I had a 3rd-floor apartment in West Haven. Nice, walking distance from the beach. His is also walking distance from the beach, mind you. It was my old apartment was right around the corner from this house, so he's walking distance to the beach.
Half a mile.
Full access to the beach, okay, for West Haven residents. And they were going for 4,000 plus. But my 3rd-story apartment, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom on the 3rd floor. Okay, so 3 flights of stairs, no elevator, obviously. And 3rd floor, it kind of made the whole thing look like an attic apartment, which it kind of was. I mean, it was decent, but I was paying back in 2018, I was paying $1,500 back then. No parking, no driveway, no basement, no 3rd bedroom, no screen porch. It was an apartment. There was 2 other apartments beneath me. Now, in the last 2 years, rent is for a house like that goes for about $4,000. 4,300. You can look it up yourself. On the low end, I would be renting him that apartment for $300 on the low end. I'm talking about no amenities, no parking, no basement, no fenced-in yard, no washer dryer. It would still be under market for $300 a month. Charged him no security. You look just like your father. Thank you. If that's supposed to be a compliment or if you're trying to be a smart ass, I don't know, but I take that as what do you practice magic? What's that? I do practice magic. I practice amal and sihr. 3,000. No, I charge him 300 on the low end undervalue. I practice sihr, which is actually, they call it Islamic magic, but it's technically not Islamic magic. It is magic that is of Middle Eastern descent. It's Arabic magic because it is practiced using Arabic chants, working with the jinn, which speak Arabic mainly. Hebrew, secondary, and Aramaic, of course, which is ancient Arabic, and believe it or not, the language of the Anunnaki, which is a whole different subject. The conjurations are written in Arabic, and you can use verses of the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah, the three holy books. So it's not technically Islamic magic, although people have adopted it as such because most people use Islamic texts and Islamic verses in it because most Arabs come from an Islamic background. However, you can use any of the three holy books. So yes. I also do what we call amal, which is basic candle magic. And we use, similar to hoodoo, the difference is, I used to call it hoodoo because I thought that's how you say it in English. I didn't know that I didn't know how to say amal in English. And amal in English literally translates to make, to do. So when you say hadasa wat amal alayya, someone did amal on me, you're saying someone did the do on me, did some, I don't know how that would translate. So I thought hoodoo, because it was so similar, I mean, it was identical. The only difference is they had access to, like, the figure candles and things like that, which we really didn't have access to in the Middle East. We had to make dolls, and we had to, use regular candles to represent people and put them next to, handmade dolls or, paper dolls or things like that. But people that came from an Orthodox background would use the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit when they bless things. So when I saw them doing that, I'm like, oh, this is Amal. So, and there's a good reason for that, because hoodoo actually has a lot of Arab and Semitic influence, and that's because a lot of the enslaved Africans that were forced, kidnapped and brought here. A lot of them were from West Africa, and they were Muslim. So they would carry their tawiz and wafak in a bag. And, the whole idea of, like the mojo bag came from our tradition, which we call hijab, which hijab is literally a scarf and like a headscarf in Arabic, but we would put a spirit in a hijab and put the tawiz and wafak, which is Quranic verses or Bible verses, and put wafak, or the tawi, the wafak is the Bible verses and Quranic verses, and the tawiz, which is the number squares and certain numbers, and we would put them, in the bag. And the idea of feeding a spirit came from tying a jinn to the 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 bag with the wafak and the tawiz and different, crystals or rocks or herbs and things of that nature, and having to feed it. Only we would have to release it after so many days. But that whole idea and that whole tradition came from that. And actually, hoodoo, so they went from, you know, using Quranic verses to using like the Psalms and biblical verses because of their slave owner piece of shit fuckbags that, you know, enslaved them, would force them into Christianity. And so it was easier for them to hide their practices using the Bible. So that's how it kind of evolved. And then the Solomon seals, okay, that came from Hebrew Jewish mysticism. Obviously, it came from Palestine now, or Israel, whatever you want to call it, but Hebrew, you know, because it's Hebrew. At the time, Solomon, that was the name of the land at the time, was Israel. And well, yeah, they renamed it. So basically, the Canaanites were polytheistic. They worshipped the gods of the Canaanite pantheon, and also some from the Mesopotamian pantheon, as you know, the Mesopotamia and Canaan, or Mesopotamia and the Levant, were always historically and spiritually, culturally connected, politically, and all that. So they did also worship some of the Mesopotamian gods and goddesses. Some of them also worshiped the Egyptian gods and goddesses, the triple goddesses of Arabia, Alat, Manat, and Al-Huzza. And, you know, Asherah, Ishtar, and Aina. Those are all Canaanite goddesses. Okay, that they came from Canaan, which is now went to Palestine, to Israel, Palestine, back to Israel. Anyway, the Canaanites went from their polytheistic religions to, then they just converted to the Judaism and the Samaritan or Samaritan, okay, which is a different branch of Judaism, which they don't agree on a lot of their beliefs. The Jews and the Samaritan or Samaritan religion. I don't want to say it wrong in English, but it's a branch of Judaism, and then converted from Judaism to Christianity when Jesus came, and the followers of Christ, obviously became Christian. They were Jews prior to that. And then the final prophet, Muhammad, came, and then the followers of him became Muslim. So, and some went just straight from, the polytheistic religion, and they kind of hid, practicing their beliefs hidden. And that's why there were all these wars to get people to follow one God. So a lot of them had to keep secret their beliefs, and or they'd get killed. And so that's how that kind of went. So especially when Judaism came in, they were very insistent on getting people to believe in their God. So, and then not many didn't go through the whole conversion. Very few went straight from polytheism to Christianity, or from polytheism straight to Islam. Most of them went through the transition of polytheism, Judaism, or Samaritan, which is a branch of Judaism, to Christianity, to Islam. Some stayed Jewish, some stayed Christian, like my family, and some and some the final transition was Islam, and so that's how that goes. And so that is why, it's interesting what's going on over there now. Now, despite with the Canaanites and Palestinians, if you look at my ancestry, which I didn't know, somehow I heard that there was this girl, I won't mention names, but she was claiming, I don't know her and I didn't follow her, I just heard of her through some of my friends. She apparently claimed to be her Native American and stuff, and then somehow, because she was very problematic, and I guess she started problems with all these people. I didn't know her, never heard of her before, and until someone told me, and then I guess her haters somehow pulled up her ancestry, so I guess there's a way to do that. And found that she was actually Italian and a bunch of other things, and there was not a drop of Native American in her. But that's why when you look at my ancestry, it's 98% Levantine, 2% Arabian Peninsula. There are not many people there are not many ethnicities or ethnic groups that have such a pure bloodline, and that's because the Canaanites, who we descend from, throughout all these years of being invaded and colonized by other peoples like the Israelites and the Greeks and the Romans and this, that, and the third, they did not mix with them. They mixed amongst themselves and even with relatives to keep their bloodline. And that was actually done. I mean, this isn't like something I would like be so proud of, but even like even as recent as my great grandparents were like third cousins. And that's because they wanted to keep their last name, their bloodline. Kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. So my great grandparents were third cousins, and God knows how far back. I told you guys the story about my, way back, like in the probably not the Canaan times, but Bar Sham times for sure. Balad Sham times when the Levant was all one, like Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. It was all one land called Balad Sham, or land of Sham. That's what that translates to. There were tribes, and my grandmother told you guys a story about how they were all, one tribe, one family wiped out my family, and then left two kids that were cousins, and the little boy was slow. He had some kind of, maybe it was autism or something, and the little girl and another tribe, another family took them in, and the head of the family, took the little girl and like his daughter, and really loved her and raised her. And when she was like 14, 15 years old, and it was time for her to marry, he said, you need to pick a husband. And she picked her cousin, the slow one. And he said, why? He's slow. And, she said, because he's the only one that has my family name, and I want to grow my family back. And she did. I told you guys the story. And, kept procreating. And as they procreated, she would tell her kids and grandkids, as they got older, make as many babies as you can to rebuild the family. So each one had like 15 kids or more. And, they lived off the land, so, it wasn't hard or expensive back then. And till their family got sizable and she became an old woman in her 80s. And she gathered all the men of the family. Now there were in the hundreds. And she made a plan to avenge the family that wiped out our family. And so she gathered them together and she got a bushel of sticks and she said, try to break these sticks. And they did, and it was hard to break because she was like, we're going to take out the family. And they were like, how, Tata? Like, how are we going to do that there? They weren't wiped out at one point, so obviously they never stopped growing. They didn't have to start over. They were much bigger than mine. And she said, here, try to break this bunch of sticks together. And of course they couldn't do it. And then she said, now try one at a time. And they'd take one at a time and easily snap the twig. And she said, that's how we have a gathering and we invite them in no more than two at a time. And as they come in, we slit their throats quietly before they can make a sound. And that's what they did. One by one, slit their throats. It was very barbaric times back then. But, yeah, and so, I mean, they were cousins is my point. And so that's how the bloodline stayed, pure. Not just marrying cousins, but just staying within the ethnicity. And that's why Palestinians, they're not racist, but they prefer that, like, I married a white man, My dad didn't care because he was white. He cared that he got my house raided and got me arrested at one point, but he took responsibility and those charges were dropped. That's not the same thing that I talk about happened that I actually went to jail for and sat in jail for 30 days and had to do probation. That arrest, I got bonded out right away and the charges were dropped. I didn't even need a lawyer. Justin took responsibility because he was trafficking cocaine at the time. And my dad hated him for that, but not for being white. But was he thrilled that I was marrying outside my culture? No, because he wanted my children to be pure-blooded Palestinian because we're a dying breed. And they want our our bloodline specifically to, and especially mine, they were very disappointed because when I didn't have children at all, because they wanted me to pass my gift on to a child. However, there are consequences with that. My grandmother didn't do black dark work. I don't like to call it black magic. It's inappropriate. It's the wrong terminology anyway. It's of a darker nature in terms of energy. Like, yeah, dark work is better and better framing. Black magic, I hear, is a kind of a racist term, but dark magic, in terms of its dark, intent. My grandmother only did it I would like to sleep with you. How much would it cost to connect me energy to you? You are a fucking weirdo. You fucking disgusting douche. Ugh, gross. Anyway, I'm married, thanks, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, so my point is my grandmother, she did it only when necessary, but she didn't do it for the public. She didn't do it for pay. She didn't do it for others. She did it for herself when necessary to protect her family. You know, to if enemies tried to do things to us, to our family, she would do it. But she didn't do it for the public like she did healing, like she did, uncrossings, like she did, like if a person, well, mainly women, would have a hard time finding a husband or a hard time getting pregnant, she would do things like that. She would, if the she would read coffee cups, but she didn't do, you know, work of a darker nature for the public, only for family and for herself. I, on the other hand, do. And so to bring a child into the world, especially when you got, you're on social media and all of that, I wouldn't want to have a target. I could protect my child, of course, like I protect my husband, like I protect my animals, like I protect my family. But there's an energetic cord with your children that is much stronger. They're a part of you. You share a soul with them. So what hits you, in essence, hits them. It's a lot easier to hit them. Your blessings are a lot easier to give them, but so are your curses. So, no, that's why I did not have a genetic child. That, and I just didn't want to, I'm not really into kids like that. I mean, babies, they're cute and stuff, but they cry a lot and shit. My goddaughter, though, smallah, mashallah, alaiha, she's such a good baby. And, like, my nieces and nephews, it kind of made me, like, what is that thing called when your, like, ovaries start itching to have a kid? What is that called? You get that baby fever thing? Because I'm like, wait a minute. All my friends' kids are freaking amazing. Mashallah. God bless them. Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Khamsa, 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 khamsa. But I do that to myself because even, I would never send evil eye to my babies. But evil eye can sometimes be intentional or unintentional. So I always do that just in case, like, because I'm saying, oh, I don't have kids. It's by accident I could send evil eye, and I don't ever mean that. I love them. So, khamsa ba'anaya or khamsa ba'anakum. But they're amazing babies, mashallah, and they're not crybabies. They're good. They sleep through the night. Alhamdulillah, knock on wood, mashallah. God bless them always and protect them. So it kind of made me like second guess, like, damn, did I make a bad decision? Because they're not that bad. But I raised kids as a child, and I remember my siblings being crybabies and my cousins being horrible. Sorry guys, love you, but I'll never forget. I was 10 years old, and my uncle had just had my cousin Jonathan. I shouldn't use names, but oh well, it's too late. And he asked my mom if he could take me to Disney World. And she said yes. And the whole time, he had me taking care of the baby while him and his wife went on all the rides and stuff. So I had to sit, with the stroller at 10 years old. He was born in November and I was born in December. So I literally turned 10 a month after he was born. So he was actually, I wasn't even, because he was just literally like a month old. So I had just turned 10. Anyway, so I had to watch him, while they waited in line and all that at Wet and Wild. They went to the whole Universal, Disney, Wet and Wild, all that stuff. And they left me with the baby. And then, so I didn't get to really ride any of the rides or anything, which was kind of fucked up looking back on it. But, I mean, he got my mom to let him take me all to be the babysitter. But anyway, that would have been fine. I mean, he could have just paid me for that. I was 10, a nice little $20 bill would have done the trick. But anyway, regardless, he wouldn't even buy me a sweatshirt from the damn fucking gift shop. Like, cheap. These are millionaires, okay? Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, Khala, I'm talking about you if you ever watch this. That was fucked up, dude. But anyway, it's kind of why you got what you got and you thought I cursed you and I didn't. That's just your bad karma. What did this douchebag say? Anyway, how many trolls are there? We are loyal clients and children. Your baby stream, we always need you in our lives. We'll always be there for you, sis. Love you. Juicy could have been a tarot reader. Hold on, I gotta see. What are these weirdos saying? I'm not even looking. You guys are wasting your time. My mods are just gonna block you. I'm not even gonna see you, so. Yeah, I can't even read what you say now because they blocked you. How much battery do I have? I'm only at 4%, so I gotta finish this. But, so in the hotel room, he cried and cried and cried, had to change his diapers and everything else. And then when they got older, every summer, I'd have to watch them. Now he had a little sister, Juliana. She would have been a good girl. She's such a good girl now. And I love you guys, John and Jules. Love you. But you guys were monster children. And I remember my uncle would drop us off at the McDonald's Playhouse. This was in Connecticut. I would come up here in the summers. We would go here first, and then we would go to my country. So this would be like, we would stop here because JFK is the international airport. The one in Tampa, I don't think, went straight to Tel Aviv at the time. So we would stop here, and then we'd go overseas. And so I would always be the babysitter. And he would drop us off at McDonald's Playhouse and leave us there for hours. And this McDonald's Playhouse was right on a main street. And these kids, especially Jonathan, he was so bad. He'd be like, "Fuck you, skinhead." That's what his thing was. "Fuck you, skinhead." His father, my uncle, would always call our dads, my dad and his brother, because my mom and her sister and her cousin married my dad and his two brothers. So mom and her sister and cousin met my dad and his two brothers, and they married. So my uncle, he was like a little shit. He was only like 16 when they got married, and he would call them skinheads because they were bald. balding, and then by this time they were completely bald. So he'd always call them skinheads. And Jonathan, kids little, they pick up on this shit, these words, and he'd be like, "Buck you, skinhead! Buck you, buck you!" He could. It was so fun. It was funny, but not funny. And then he'd have his little sister saying it, and then they'd take the balls, and then they'd throw them in the street at moving vehicles. And I would literally pick Jonathan up and I'm like, stop. I was going crazy. I'm like, cut it out. And he'd be like, he spit on me. Fuck you, skinhead. Spit right in my face. He was so bad. I never wanted to beat a little kid's ass so bad in my life, but I didn't. I was 15, so at the time, he was 5. No, I was 14 at this time, so he was 4. Fuck you, skinhead. And then he'd have Juliana saying the same thing. Fuck you, skinhead. And he'd leave me there with these kids for hours while they're throwing freaking those little balls from the playpen into moving traffic, cursing me out. It was horrible. So I came up with this plan, and I'm like, if you guys don't stop being bad, I'm gonna call Flucus. I just pulled the name out of my ass. Flucus. What's Flucus? Flucus is a monster that comes and eats little kids that are bad. And they're like, nuh-uh, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a Flucus. And I'm like, okay. So when their dad picked me up, I told him, I said, hello, you better go along with this. I told him and my aunt, I'm like, your kids are monsters and they don't listen. I was like, you better fucking go along with this or I'm never going to watch your kids again. He's like, okay. And he had a bunch of scary masks and stuff that he would use like for Halloween and just scaring the shit out of people. My uncle was kind of like a funny, like trickster guy. So I was like, all right. So I would always stay at his house, to watch the kids and stuff. It was like their nanny. See how much battery I have left. 3%. So I was like, okay, if you guys are bad, I'm going to call Flucus. Well, of course, they were being bad. And my little brother was at the house. He at the time was like, if I was 14, he was about 7. Anyway, so they were being bad. So I'm like, okay, Flucus, come get him, Flucus. All of a sudden, my uncle puts on the scariest, like, old man looking mask with this crazy hair. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but that shit was scary. And he came around the house and he started banging on the sliding glass doors. And the kids went fucking crazy. They're like, ah! Screaming. Even my brother was so funny. He's so dramatic. He's gay. And he's been gay his whole life. So he had those kind of flamboyant mannerisms even back then. And he goes, "Oh my God, I thought this was a good neighborhood." It was so funny. I thought this was a good neighborhood. And the kids are screaming like bloody murder, so scared. We terrorized the shit out of them. And I know a lot of people would frown on that, but these kids were bad as hell. And let me tell you what, they never misbehaved with me again. Ever. I'd always just threaten Flucus. Hey, Jason Bender. Greetings. Is that you, Hillary Clinton? Have a great day. Fuck you, Hillary Clinton. Hell no, that dumb bitch. Why is everybody comparing me to old white women? Like the fuck? But anyway, hey, Taro by Moko. Miss and love you. But Flucus. Oh, man. That worked like a charm. But anyway, that whole experience, amongst others, made me very anti wanting to have kids. I raised enough children, and it was a fucking nightmare. And they were colicky, and it was not fun. So yeah, but all my friends' kids seem to be amazing and beautiful. My goddaughter, mashallah, she's so beautiful. And my namesakes, just beautiful. Like the kids, my clients named after me were really good friends. And even my goddaughter has my middle name. She gave me her middle name because I did fertility work for her. I helped bring her into this world. I cut the cord. I cut the cord for her. Um, and I did, ritual work so that she had a smooth labor. And that baby was born at 1:11 a.m. and she pushed 1.5 times. One push and a half. And she slept through her whole labor. Even the doctors, we were in Virginia, and one of them, the anesthesiologist that did the epidural, she's like, "Can I get your number?" I'm like, "Sure." Because when I did like the ritual work and I was, playing Surat Maryam, and, I was, speaking like, spells on her, like, you're going to have a great birth. It's not going to be painful. Your daughter's going to come out strong and smart and, all the things. And I was like, she's going to come right out, no pain. And I'll be damned, she did. She slept through her whole labor until it was time to push. Her epidural was perfect. Me and her both slept. They had to wake her up when it was time to push, when she was dilated enough. And she only a push and a half, and she was out. And she was born Sagittarius, and I wanted her. She was supposed to be born Capricorn, but no offense to Capricorn women, but I was like, hell no, she's not going to be born a Capricorn woman, because I know how Capricorn women, they get real attached to men real quick, and it's not good. They're good with money, they're good with finances, but when it comes to love, they get cuckoo for cocos over men. So, and Capricorn men too, really. I did not want her to be a woman that could get her heart broken easily. So she basically was very soon what? Very soon what, Brianna? What did Lizard say was going to happen very soon? It's called the bidet, asshole. My granddaughter's middle name is Erica? No, it's Shireen. Why would my granddaughter's middle name be Erica? What, Brianna? What would happen very soon? Saibu? What's that? 2%. What does that mean? Saibu. Anyway. So, yeah. Before my phone dies, let me plug it in real quick. And then I gotta get off here. The fucker that was in my house renting for much less than market value with rent, which most landlords do not do. No credit check. Never rented before, and he paid his rent on time every month. He did. I'll give him that. And then he had two spirals. One where he was running around the neighborhood naked, and I could have evicted him then, even though he was still on the lease. And I didn't. I defended him tooth and nail. That he had mental illness, needed help, and he ended up scamming a lot of people for a lot of money, as I found out, which I didn't know he was doing that. I knew he was behind on his work, but I didn't know to the degree. I didn't know he was charging people expedite fees of $1,000 per spell and then not expediting them at all. They were actually waiting for months, and now he upped it to 2,500. Now he calls it skip the line fee instead of expedite fee because I called him out on the expedite fee. So 2,500 to skip the line only, not including the spell itself, which takes him, I've watched him do his work, unlike he's never saw me do my work. He's seen my supplies, he's seen everything, but I don't do my work in front of random people. I don't care. Even my friends, when they came to visit during the new year and I was doing my ritual, I was in my basement doing my rituals. Nobody is around my work but my husband. Not that I don't trust my good friends, and only Sneha and Patrona have been around me when I work, and Aviana. All people that I know their energy, trust their energy, but my whole prep thing, me on FaceTime, I'm doing his spell work. While I'm on FaceTime, I'm like, you want me to let you go so you can kind of focus on this? Oh, no, it's okay. Writing petitions while he's on the phone with me. Go to his house to pick up the rent. Oh, hey, writing petitions while he's talking to me. No focus at all. Has mold. Fucking have them sitting on altars growing mold. Fucking literally took him 10 minutes to throw together. No focus, no nothing. Okay. Some would say that I could do that because when I had to stop someone I love from driving around fucking in a state of mind where they, well, fuck it, intoxicated. And I had to stop them. And I literally just grabbed what I had in my kitchen, figure candles, some pins, some olive oil, some salt, some pepper, some cayenne, and real quick put the pins in the head and half-ass carved it, half-ass carved the candle, just real quick, put the pins in the head, pull over, go to sleep, pull over, go to sleep, pull over, go to sleep, don't hurt anybody, pull over, get out of the car, go to sleep, pull over, get out of the car, go to sleep, don't hurt anybody, don't hurt yourself, don't crash the car, pull over, get out of the car, go to sleep. Before that candle got down to the shoulders, I get a phone call. Ma'am, we found someone who is passed out. We got a lot of calls about erratic driving. And they said he was heading into the airport. And when we found him, he was passed out inside of a golf cart, someone else's golf cart, no less. So he did he pulled over, got out of the car, went into someone's golf cart, and fell asleep. Luckily, he couldn't get a DUI because of that. Luckily, he couldn't he didn't hurt anybody or himself, nor did he damage the vehicle. And I did that as I was speaking. He has to change extra because he has to charge extra because Yankee candles are expensive, right? And I did that with my friends. If I didn't have witnesses to this shit, Sneha and Aviana could tell you this. They watched the whole thing. If they didn't see it, I wouldn't have believed it. If I didn't see it myself, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it. Exactly what I said happened. It didn't even finish. The candle was up to the neck, burned up to the neck. The pins are in the head. And it wasn't even finished burning. Got that call. And so, yeah, some people are powerful enough to where they could, have a whole conversation and not pay attention and half-ass the work and get the job done. Some people, that doesn't make it right though. Not when somebody's paying good money for it. Some people can do group rituals and manifest 50 people at once, all same subject related. That's why, I will. Well, actually, I've done some New Year's ritual, whatever your wish is for the new year, but I try to separate like money rituals from love rituals, from road openers. Like once in a blue, I've done a ritual like 11/11. That's like whatever your wish is. That's all different, but I'm strong enough to do it. Not everybody is. I created the group ritual. I was the first to do the group ritual. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Find someone who did it before me. I posted my first one publicly. I've been doing them since I started because these were rituals I did for myself every year and for friends and family. So I started doing it for free for my clients. Then when clients started to get entitled and think I owed it to them for free, and can put me in it and put me in it. Did you get my petition to put me in it? And start to be demanding it for free. Then I said, oh, we want to demand things that I'm doing out of the kindness out of my heart. I don't mind doing things from the kindness of my heart until I start to feel taken advantage of. Once I start to feel taken advantage of, then I have a problem. So I started to feel taken advantage of, and I said, oh, are we acting entitled? Entitlement is one of my biggest fucking pet peeves. I will go above and beyond. I will stick with you until you are manifested. I will, and as long as you're a full set, okay? $100 spell, $111 spell is not $150 spell, $200 spell is not enough for me to sit and work with you for a fucking year. Neither is $1,500, really. $1,500 to deal with your case for a year and do boosters for a year is not worth it. Matter of fact, some full sets should be, unless you manifest quick, just the 27 to 30 day out the gate, or sometimes 33, sometimes 40 out the gate is not really, I mean, it's a steal. It breaks down to like $17 a day per spell, not counting the boosters I'm doing for free, not counting when you fuck up the spell and I have to start all over, not counting all that. I don't even charge for that unless you piss me off or get nasty or try to lie or try to think I don't remember when you did something or not tell me that you did something. Then you're paying for it. If I catch you in a lie, and don't think I'm always going to call you out on it. I always know when you're lying, though, FYI. I may not say anything. But I'll give you little hints that I know, like charging you for a booster or, you know. Or if I've already been dealing with your case for long enough and, yeah. Okay. Do I support cybersecurity employees role playing on YouTube and social media as content creator and chat users worldwide? No. Do I support Google cybersecurity employees role playing on YouTube as social media as content creators and chat users worldwide? Do they do that? Absolutely not. That's kind of fucked. love, how much a session spell? I have to do a consult with you. You have to book I don't offer session spells without speaking to. I have domination head work on my website, but that's not the same as an obsession. I would have to discuss that with you, but I do offer domination head work. That's on my website. I think I have it listed at 170. That's a one and done. The candle works on my website. They're one and done. I don't take monthly updates, okay? Except for when they work. Just because I don't take your monthly updates does not mean that when it manifests, when it works, you don't send a thank you to me and my spirits, or they will get upset and offended, and they will give it and they will take it away. So if you don't say thank you, at least in an email, a simple email, or thank you, for manifesting my spell. It could be that simple. Don't be surprised if it goes away on you real soon. It's just courtesy, folks. Just because I don't take a monthly update, just because you're not full set. Same goes for group rituals, anything of that. Sending a testimonial, that's for me and my spirits to show gratitude. You don't have to send flowers like everybody else. You don't have to be extra. All you have to do is say thank you, like a common courtesy. I mean, who raised some people? Some people were like raised in a barn or something, because someone, I don't care if I pay for a service, someone gives me a good service, a satisfying service, I will thank them. Say thank you. Yeah, I would have to speak to you, Jannar, but I saw you do an obsession penis heart spell. I wish to do it on my husband. Just email me or at arabianconjure@gmail.com. I'm only doing short consultations. I'm not booking full readings right now. But you have to be flexible in your schedule for the short consultations, because they never end up being short anyway. The 10 minutes to 30 minutes, I say, just to have some kind of boundary. Okay, and not 10 minutes, that's like impossible. That has never happened ever. But I just put that there to kind of, so we understand that it's not supposed to be like a 3-hour thing. But, anyway. And I can't cut into my spell time. So that's why readings get pushed once it's time for me. If I'm missing my Venus hour or my Saturn hour or my Mars hour or whatever hour I need, I have to cut my readings. And once I finish, I have to get started. So this is, once I catch up, I will be booking them again. But the longer everybody keeps me on the phone, I don't think my readings will ever be open again, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. But my mini consults will be. See, with mini consults, I'm not tied to my table. I'm not tied to my reading table where I have my incense and I have my bell and I have my stuff. I can actually move around and, get put together all my stuff for when I'm getting my spell work, for when I have to do spell work. I can at least get my stuff organized while I'm on the phone. I can multitask. I could clean up the house. I could do other things. I'm not just tied to a table. So anyway, hi, beautiful. I just want to tell you how much I adore all the work that you put into your craft and all the knowledge you share. You're such a stunning soul. Aww, heart hand, your hand, my hand, heart hand. Mwah. Love you. Thank you, lonely child of Earth. I hope you're having an amazing day. Shireen, I put you in the acknowledgement of my bachelor thesis. I have to send you a photo of these. Oh my goodness! Really? Aww. Please. I won't post it if you don't want me to. I mean, and if I did, if I'm allowed to, I would like obviously just edit everything else out and just put my little acknowledgement in there. I would totally cover everything up, but that is an honor. But if you don't want me to post it at all, I won't, even if I like blurb out everything, black out everything else. Your name and the thesis itself, and just leave my little acknowledgement. But if you, again, I would respect what you want. If you don't want me to post it at all, I won't. And I'll do now, before I post anything, I have to do I do protection. I do protection chanting, protection prayers. I light a protection candle over the person whose testimonial it is, even though I'm not showing their name or anything. But that's another reason why I, haven't really been posting as much testimonials, because I want to keep them protected. There's crazy people, but I keep them for myself and for my spirits, because they mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me. They mean the world to me. Like those cards, I have every card, every flower card that I've ever had. I have the boxes full. Okay. Justin just redid all my stuff, but hold on, let me see how much. Okay, I have box full. I keep every single one. Justin hates me for it, and I start freaking out if he throws one away, or if I think he throws one away, or if I can't find one. This is just from the last week. Okay? I gotta put in my little box. Okay? Alright. Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the flower places when I get back from court. And I'm going to call them and I'm going to ask them, is that the curse me with Lilith? Oh, don't call me bro. I'm not a bro. Where are you from? What a weirdo. Why are you spamming me, dude? Am I looking at the thing? I hate people who need attention so bad. Like, don't be weird. But this is just from a week ago. Look at all the different companies. Okay. Yeah, I send myself flowers. This is just from a week. I have a whole box of all of my flower cards. Okay. All right. Look. Okay, this is a card, an actual card. All right. Thanking me. So, I don't need, okay, to fake anything, but I haven't posted them because I don't have to, and I have to do a protection over them now. I don't just do the little chamse and then the ayin, the evil eye, to protect. I do my protection chants, my protection prayers, and then I post to keep them safe so that nobody evil eyes them. Because again, evil eye could be unintentional or some could be intentional. And so I haven't had the time to do that. But I cherish them. I cherish them. My spirits cherish them. They mean a lot to me. and when I'm going through major anxiety and I can't keep my phone on loud because it gives me fucking panic attacks when it's constantly ding, 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 ring, 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 like going around my assistant, that I pay good money to be that buffer so that I can work in peace without being distracted, okay? And don't you ever, somebody tried my whole existence when they get butthurt when I'm busy, or don't ever tell me when you blow your top on your target and you can't keep your, it's so funny. Some people only like to message me when they got a fucking issue, when they get into a fight with their man or whatever, right? Well, my job in the first place was only to get your man back, right? And then I get him back, and you get into a fight and cuss him out, tell him you fake orgasms and everything else. And then you have the audacity to message me talking about you're so mad that you wasted your time, money, and energy on them. When you say money, do you mean money on work with me? Because this particular person didn't waste a whole lot. Didn't waste shit. Actually, you got your result over and over and over again. I mean, at what point am I going to be like, okay, you're going to pay for me to redo this? But when you say you waste money, you better make it clear. You mean waste money on buying him gifts or waste money on my work? Because you damn sure didn't waste money on my work. So you better clarify that shit, or we're going to have a real problem. Okay, because you got your result multiple times. I cannot keep your temper for you. And it's not my job to do that. Okay? So don't ever finish the thought, honey, Methany. Finish a dick in your mouth, pussy boy. What you doing up at this hour? I guess you would know what methany looks like. I bet you they're the only ones that give you head or fuck you. So, do I look like a meth head? Finish a thought. No, you're right. I do bounce from subject to subject, but see, you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, or you would know what the fuck we're talking about. So get the fuck out of my life, you pussy ass bitch. You know how to talk to ladies? You're such a ladies man, ain't you, pussy boy? You're psychotic. You're psychotic. Get the fuck out. You're psychotic. And you're a non-pussy getting fuck. The only pussy you get, you pay for. Douchiny. Pussiny. Faggony. Yeah, I said faggony. I don't give a fuck. It's not about your sexual orientation. It's about your pussy ass fucking lame attitude. I ain't canceled for shit. My brother's gay and my sister's gay. I'll say whatever the fuck I want to. Canceled. Suck a fucking dick from the back, bitch. Cancel my ass. Faggony, 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 faggony. Oh well. Pussy, wimp. I told you I was taking that word and turning it into a non-homophobic slur. It's about, I call men that are not gay fags. I've never called a gay man a fag. Only non-gay pussies that act like little bitches fags. And I'll keep calling them fags. Since when? You know what a fag actually is? It's a stick. They used to call fags a bushel of sticks. And then they started calling them cigarettes fags. So words are only. Since when do we take a word and just make it what we want? Well, since that's what people do, I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean I'm homophobic. Both my siblings are gay. I love the gays. But I am going to make that word a non-homophobic thing. That word is not for gay men. That word is for pussy-ass straight men, heterosexual, dumbass punks, pussy. Do you know the word punk in jail actually refers to homosexuals too? But can you call anybody a punk? Yeah. It's not just for gays, is it? But it is used in prison to refer to homosexuals. So the word fag does not have to be used only for gays, but little pussies like you. Finish a thought, Methany. You're so funny. What other chat live did you get that from? Because I know your stupid ass didn't think of it. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Squirrel. Oh yeah, I was going back to um, the money situation, and it's not my responsibility. If I'm doing work for you and you say that you wasted time, money, energy, you better clarify the money part, because that kind of offends me if you don't. Because I waste my time, money, and energy on you when you don't follow instruction and you do whatever the fuck you want to do, and I have to drop everything because you're blowing up my phone when every time you get into a fight with your man, and I'm in the middle of a reading and I can't talk to you right then and there, and you get all butthurt. That is annoying and it pisses me off. Okay. But you got little pieces of shit out here charging tens of thousands of dollars for a spell that took them 10 minutes, all of 10 minutes to put together, that they don't keep track of, they don't keep updates on, they don't boost, they don't fucking do shit. And they're not even mentally in the right frame of mind to do. Their house is a fucking mess. They let your spells grow mold on their TV tray altars that they call altars. But yet, the people that break their back for you guys, you walk all over and act so entitled that, the whole $500, $1,100, $1,500 for 3 spells that take fucking 30 days each. And we work with you and provide you a fucking 24/7 fucking Johnny on the spot fucking email therapist and coach, and telling you how to navigate through every communication. So we're providing the spell work. I'm providing spell work. I'm providing a emotional sounding board, a trauma dump person where you can out all your frustrations, anger, somebody to coach you through every communication. First of all, none of those things are my job, nor do I have to provide that, but I still do, and stick with you through the entire process. Same goes for court cases. I stick with you through every court case, through every hearing, through every mediation, through everything. Same with prosperity work. Stick with you through every frickin' until you are where you need to be. But I don't have to. I could do your little work. I can finish it and say, okay, the job is done. Let me know when it works. Have a nice day. Or I could just, the candle works that I offer for my most expensive is $200. And I have him as look at Luna. She's so freaking cute. Look at this. But hold on, let me finish my thought before Puss Boys like that fagony. I don't give a fuck. Say I can't finish the thought, but I can easily take those candleworks that these motherfuckers throw together in 10 minutes. I at least put time and focus and speak your intention, visualize your intention, move a muscle. I could probably throw it together in 10 minutes and it would still work because I'm a fucking badass bitch, just like I did when somebody was out there drunk driving, but or driving while impaired, I should say. But I don't. That's just not who I am. And charge thousands of dollars, send you your little picture, and send you on your way. Like I do with the one and dones, I send their little picture and send them on their way. Let me know when it works. I could easily do that and charge thousands of dollars for it. At least it still takes me hours to do. The focus, speaking, intention, moving the energy, the petition. But no, I make them very affordable. I could charge thousands of dollars for that like everybody else, but I don't. I charge what I charge for sihr, jinn magic, which is dangerous for me. If I do it wrong, it's dangerous for me. It's expensive for me. They don't take just little bullshit offerings like flowers or wine or this or that. They like sacrifices, animal sacrifices, which I'm not really. I love animals. So gold, silver, which has skyrocketed as of late. I prefer the gold and silver than to have to kill and slaughter an animal. I just don't like that. So yeah, and if I have to do that, of course it would be halal style, where the animal doesn't suffer, and they don't see it coming. But I prefer not to do that at all. You guys suck, that's all. You suck dick. Alex Assen. Alex Assen. I was going to tell you, thank you for putting me on to gold and silver. I wished I jumped on it sooner. You're welcome, girl. Who takes the sacrifice, ma'am? I'm curious. Do tell. What do you mean, who takes the sacrifice? You talking about what spirit? Why'd you block this person? Were they being a smart ass before? Or did they generally have a question? Am I Muslim? No, I don't subscribe to any Abrahamic religion. Oh, it's spirits, I didn't know. Shaitan. Shaitan, ya babe, ya babe. Shaitan, ya babe. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm technically baptized Orthodox Christian, but I know the Quran very well. So many Muslims have said I know better than them. Thank you, Tata, my grandmother. My grandmother went to Islamic school, and so did my great uncle. So they taught us, well, they taught my father, my aunts, uncles, and father the Quran, and also the grandchildren. And we know the Talmud because we had to know because we're Palestinians, so we want to know. They wanted to teach us what the other side, so to speak, how they believe and what they're taught. Although not all Jews are Talmudic Jews, there are Jews that strictly go by the Torah. I also know the Torah as it is the Old Testament, essentially. So I know the Bible very well, Old and New Testament, the Quran, and the Talmud. So, among other things. Yeah. It's good to be educated. And honestly, I do, but basically, and this is how really in Islam, this is why actually Islam has respect for, Moses. He is a prophet to them. So it's interesting to me that, Zionists will call Islam radical Islam because they're the only ones that have respect for all of the previous Abrahamic religions before it. They respect Jesus as a prophet. They call him a prophet. And hold on, look at Luna right now. Hold on, you have to see this. Look at her. Look at her sleeping on his knees. Isn't she fucking adorable, delicious, and nutritious? Oh my goodness. So cute. So cute. I want to eat them alive. Anyway, it's Islam, they respect Musa, Moses, Yaqub, Jacob. They respect all of them. They call them prophets. They respect Jesus. He's a prophet, and they believe that he will come back to save the world, to fight, the Antichrist, and to save the world, basically. And then you have the Prophet Muhammad, who is the last prophet, they say. So the way Islam is written, it's as if like you got the Old Testament and then the New Testament. They're more connected to the Old Testament. There's more similarities between the Quran and the Old Testament, but it's almost like the first message, the Torah, the second message, the Injil, the Bible, the New Testament. The third message is the Quran. So the last message. So it's all connected. And they have respect for all of the prophets, or what the Jewish prophets, or what they look at as prophets, or holy men in their religion, and they respect the Christian holiest man, and of course their holiest prophet, Rasul, Allah's Muhammad, Rasul Yeshua, and Rasul Musa. Which means prophet, Rasul. So they say, yeah, Muhammad is the messenger. But they believe that they're all messengers. The Bible is not the Injil. The Bible is a collection of books. The Quran clearly states in Surah Baqarah, verse 79, that they wrote the books with their own hands and ascribed it to Allah. What do you mean the Bible is not the Injil? That's what the name of the Bible is in Arabic, the Injil. What do you mean the Bible is not the Injil? That's how you say Bible in Arabic. The Quran clearly states in Surah Baqarah, verse 79, and they wrote the books with their own hands and ascribed it to Allah. Okay? So what's your point? And what did I say that refuted that? Let me see all the messages so I don't miss it. What did I say that refuted that, Ahbal? The Bible's not the Injil? Waiting. Let's wait for you to Google it. The Bible's not the Injil. According to Islam, prophets like Jesus only came for the children of Israel, and Moses only came for the children of Israel enslaved by the Pharaoh, while Prophet Muhammad was the only prophet for everyone. No. This was sent, according to the Christian faith, Jesus was looked at as God's only begotten Son. And he sent him for all of mankind, not just for the children of Israel. He was sent for all of mankind. Now, Musa, perhaps, was sent for the children of Israel. But Yeshua was sent for all of mankind. How long have I performed witchcraft? Since I was 13. Aisha was 9. And how do we know what 9 years old actually was back then? Because they talked about in the Bible people living for hundreds of years. So if we're going to go based off of books written over 1,000 years ago, how do we know what 9 years old actually meant back then? That 9, for all we know, could have been 20. I mean, we don't know. Now, am I saying that it's possible that she was 9? I mean, and would I agree with that? No, obviously not. However,
girls got married back then.
That's girls got married at that age.
And have babies.
Exactly. I'm not gonna sit here and debate that with you, but isn't Muhammad a child molester, married a child of 6? But are we talking? Okay, but how do we always forget about Rebecca? Wasn't Rebecca married to Isaac when she was 3? Do we forget about that? Why do we always forget to talk about Rebecca? Huh. I guess you guys always forget about that. The Bible stated that some people lived a long time, not everyone. Okay, but how do we know? Were we there? Look it up. Who is that? Who is Rebecca? One of Isaac's wives. 3. Is this what happens when that one starts to figure out? Hold on, I think that's funny. Figure out features on her phone. Yeah, it's just an Islamophobic talking point, not worth engaging. Exactly. But it's funny because when I mentioned Rebecca was not 14. No, she wasn't. No, she was not. No, she was not. Hold on. Let me pull that up. 1 second. I'll be right back. And I was correct. My other phone is dead, or I could have just showed it to you. Let me go ahead and plug it in. Rebecca was 3, habibi. 3. She was 3 when she married Isaac, according to Jewish chronology. So look it up again. See, a lot of Zionists will use Islamophobic talking points, because I know you're a Zionist, because they're the ones that usually say that shit. And I'm not even Muslim, but I'm not going to have you lie. And I know my fucking theology. I know my history. I know a lot of shit, okay? And Rebecca, since you guys love to talk about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who never did, Muslims never disrespect Moses, though, peace be upon him. Nor they ever disrespect Jesus, but you guys love to disrespect them and their prophet. But okay, no, Rebecca was 3 when she married Isaac. So where are you getting 14? But they'll use bullshit talking points and bullshit statistics in hopes that people are stupid, because that's what they think, everybody's stupid, and can't fact check them. Just like they do with their genocide in Gaza, when they lie and talk about raping babies, people beheaded babies and burning babies in ovens and raping women. There have been no rapes. There have been no beheaded babies. They have yet to show one shred of evidence besides those lying ambulance motherfuckers that, what is their names? I forgot the names off the top of my head, but the people that supposedly went to kibbutz Reem or kibbutz, whatever the fuck its name was, I forget right now off the top of my head. Kibbutz, the one that got attacked in the October 7th. They had those lying ass fucking bullshit religious ambulance motherfuckers that collect the bodies so they could have traditional Jewish burials. They had them literally lie about what they saw. And then when journalists called them out on it, I was like, let me see the pictures. I would love to see. Can I see? Like, oh, I don't have them in this phone. Oh, wait there. How freaking convenient. They never had it to show anybody. People lying, even our own president, American president. Of course, Israel has America by the balls with blackmail and, AIPAC buying and owning our leaders, which that's coming to an end because the country is opening their eyes, and anybody that is even remotely connected to AIPAC are not, I guarantee you, will not be voted for. It's already happening. I give Israel at most, once their 2028 agreement memorandum, where we have to pay you fucks $4 billion a year. That doesn't even count in weaponry and everything else. Meanwhile, you're taking from the American people and their needs and our needs, our tax money. I'm an American citizen. I pay taxes. I was born here. I pay fuckload of taxes, yet our money goes over there while they take it away from our education, which already sucks. Take it away from vets, take it away from VA hospitals that are already understaffed, take it away from environmental freaking, stopping environmental fucking crises, taking away from cancer research to send it to go over there for genocide. But while you guys sit there and fucking lie about raped babies and beheaded, just bullshit, okay, and have yet to show a shred of evidence, but you love to claim anti-Semitism and everything. Everything is anti-Semitic. You think votes matter? Of course, because no, they probably don't. Because brag how you get to buy everything and how you run us. You basically occupy us. Keep bragging, because leave that comment. Let me screenshot it. Leave it. Because you know what? Leave comments like that. You know why? Because the more we expose them for the fascists that they are, that try to take our freedoms. They're trying to take our freedom of speech, our First Amendment right, by in several states, like DeSantis, fucking cuck that he is, which that Fisher guy is they're gonna wipe the floor with him. He's gonna be the next Floridian Congress, and Mamdani already took it off in New York City. They made any criticism of Israel illegal in many states. Illegal, folks. Illegal. To criticize Israel is against the law now. They are trying to take away our freedom of speech. Now the new CEO of TikTok, his name is Adam Presser. We should call him Adam Oppressor because he's a Zionist. And he made it to where on TikTok, if anybody uses language that criticizes Zionism or Zionists, they will be banned, it will be considered hate speech and moderated as such. But meanwhile, why does everybody have a Korean freaking symbol next to their name? Ever since my iPhone got that new iOS, whatever, you guys have a Korean symbol next to your name. It's weird. But anyway, let me screenshot so I could post it and show you. But they made Zionists and criticism of Zionism a moderated thing to where they'll shadow ban you. They will slow down your video just like they do here on YouTube. They brag about how they control us, they control our social media, and then they cry when people talk about it and point it out. You're anti-Semitic, you're a conspiracy theorist, you blame the Jews for everything. No, nobody's blaming Jews, we're blaming Israel, a foreign entity that real Jews know, like the religious Jews know. According to your own religion, it is against Judaism to have a state before the coming of the Messiah. Yet you have a state. I mean, God told Moses, you will see the land from your eyes, but not step foot in it. When he broke the tablet in anger, God told him, you shall see the land with your eyes, but shall never step foot in it. Did Moses ever step foot in Jerusalem? No, he did not. No, he did not. It won't hold up in court. You can say whatever you want about Israel, and that law will not hold up in court. Inshallah, ya Rab, I hope not. You're too close to the camera. Thanks. Is this better? I'll be as close as I want. Oh, you're right. I am too close because I'm tired. Thanks for letting me know, though. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Metal Man. Just kidding. Good looking out. So you're that friend that when somebody's got a booger hanging out of their nose, you'll tell them. Good job. Good shit. Thanks. Anyway, do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? It wasn't from breaking the tablets, from hitting the stone with his rod, and God told him to speak to the rock. You know what the fuck I meant. Tablet, stone, rock, same shit. He broke something and fucking, like, really? Are we gonna play semantics? That wasn't the point what he broke. The point is he broke something and God told him, you will lay eyes on the land but not step foot in it. Okay? Stone. What was the tablet made of? What was the tablet made of? Wasn't it made of rock, stone? Stone? Wasn't it a stone tablet? Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway, regardless, I mean, what the fuck was your point? My point is, he didn't step foot in Jerusalem. So, and God told him. He was punished for that. And your people have been punished. You were punished. You were in exile. You were in an exile. You were in a covenant. You made a promise to God not to return to the land until the coming of your Messiah. You made a covenant and you broke it. But it's secular, right? It's a secular state, isn't it? Anyway, regardless, Norman Finkelstein is also a Jewish man who had been to Israel yet actively. I love the Jews. I'm not saying I hate them. I hate Zionism. I hate any belief structure that believes that you have more of a right to self-determination than any other person. That is what I don't believe in. And Norman Finkelstein would agree with me. I love Norman Finkelstein. My cousin named her dog after Norman Finkelstein, and she loves her dogs. She named him Normie in honor of Norman Finkelstein. I mean, she didn't quite like the name. She doesn't have any boys. She only has 2 girls. So she probably would have named, if she had a son, I guarantee she would name her son Norman. I guarantee she would. But she doesn't. And so she loves her dogs like her children. And so she named her dog Normie, in honor of Norman Finkelstein. We love him. We love Mandy Patinkin. We love the Jews. One of my best friends is Jewish, Elle from Tacos and Shawarma. One of my best friends right now. Love her. Pira, dear friend of mine. I have a lot of Jewish friends. It's not about Jewish. Stop conflating the two. Stop using frickin' anti-Semitism as a shield, okay? It's not about the Jews. It's about Israel and the Israelis that believe in fascism and believe that they deserve self-determination, but the Palestinians do not. And even trying to conflate and connect Hitler to Husseini, saying just because they met, saying that Husseini was the one who told Hitler that. So this is what Netanyahu said. The balls on this guy. He lies like he breathes. All of them do. All of the government of Shitsreal, they all lie. Literally had the balls to lie straight face and say, just like he did in Congress on September 11th, 2002, when he looked at Congress and said that Iraq has weapons of mass destruction and all that, blah, 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 and basically got us to go to war to fight, Israel's enemies, because, we all know what happened there. But he had the balls to say that that Hitler did not want to kill the Jews. He just wanted to kick them out. And that he went and met with Husseini and other Arab leaders, and they said, well, specifically Husseini, the leader of Palestine at the time, in 1941, he said, no, don't just kick them out, burn them. That's a lie. He was already 2 years into his extermination plan of the Jews. And let's not fucking forget that big ass lie, because you're trying to justify this collective punishment. You're trying to connect Palestinians. You're trying to give any justification and reasoning behind limiting their freedom of movement, having them under occupation, controlling them by military force, with a government they don't have a right to vote for. Don't give me that Palestinian Authority bullshit, because we all know they have no fucking power to do anything, and they're just as corrupt as you motherfuckers. And Yeah, keeping Gaza in a literal open air. I mean, let's not even call it a prison. It actually is probably more comfortable. Let's call it a ghetto or a what did they have the people in the Holocaust in? What did they call it? Concentration camp? Yeah. But, anything to justify the mass expulsion, murder, harassment, the settlers that go and burn just innocent Palestinian farmers, olive trees, their cattle, harass them, act like animals. I mean, one guy was hissing, like, what's his name? He's on TikTok. I think his name is, I'll get that for you in my next video. He's not relevant enough for me to know off the top of my head. But I mean, just watch them. They were, look at the IDF were bragging with the women, the dead women of Gaza's lingerie. I mean, what kind of demonic behavior is that? And you justify that? Disgusting. I'd be embarrassed. I couldn't be prouder of my people. I couldn't be prouder of Palestinians. You mean they cry out as they strike you? Exactly, yes, they do. She means the idea, the Izzy Pop. They cry out as they strike you. Exactly. I'm such a victim. Let me blow up your house from this drone that I don't even have to leave this little office here, this little tank that's like a mile away. I can just blow you up from here. There goes an apartment building. There goes a church. There goes a mosque. There goes a 2-year-old. Oh, let me snipe that 2-year-old in the testicles. Hey, you want to see if you can make that shot? You want to hit another 2-year-old in the testicles? Here, try it. Let's make a game out of this. Oh, okay, I can hit a 2-year-old in the testicles. Let me get a. Okay, let's do the heart tomorrow. We gotta hit like toddlers in the heart. All right, I got them in the heart. That's what you guys do. That's what you guys do. You should be ashamed. And history will never forget. Nobody will forget. Nobody will let you rewrite it, no matter how much you try to shut us up, no matter how much you try to get us banned, no matter how much you try to take us down, the people that speak against you, and expose all your atrocities. See, you could rewrite all the other historical facts that we know you've rewritten, but I won't even go there. Because why doesn't anybody mention all the non-Jews that died in the Holocaust? I mean, the numbers actually are more than the Jews, actually. I mean, it's still a horrible thing. I don't condone what happened to the Jews at all. That was an atrocity. That was a genocide. That was disgusting. That was inhumane. That was demonic. There's no words for what was done. But for those same people, those descendants of those people, shame on you. What's the difference in having an abortion? This chick is Fruit Loops. Yeah, I'm Fruit Loops for... Look at his name. Snapshot Sniper. I'm Fruit Loops for thinking genocide is bad and killing children are bad and lying about it is bad and taking American money and trying to take away our civil liberties and freedoms, our First Amendment rights, is bad, while we pay to prop up your economy, your free health care, Kupat Cholim, your subsidized housing, your free education. While we pay for that, we don't have any of those things. You tell us what we can and cannot talk about. A foreign entity. Yeah, that's a problem. You committing genocide and justifying it, that's a fucking problem. Anybody who thinks killing children that had nothing to do with anything because they might grow up and become Hamas, So yeah, let's just kill every. How about when you guys left newborns, you separated? Do you guys know what they did in Al Shifa, the hospital they're obsessed with and they claim is Hamas headquarters? Do you guys know what they did in November of 2023? Probably not, because, they made sure to slow down all the social media. But I'll tell you, they separated families from their newborn infants, forced them at gunpoint to leave, forced the staff to leave, left the babies, told the families they will be taken care of as they cried and wept and begged to take their babies they were willing to take them out of incubators knowing that they probably wouldn't survive, but they knew what would probably happen, what did happen if they left them there with those demons. After separating the families from these infants, the mothers that just gave birth to these premature infants, to all the infants actually. Most of them were premature because of the stress and the lack of nutrition and all of that. No doctors. They arrested doctors and staff. They left the babies in the incubators to die slowly and painfully of starvation. They left them there, crying, screaming, alone, cold. No electricity for the incubators, no food, no water. Left them to die and to rot. And people found the journalists that entered the hospital, they found the bodies. And it's on video. You can look it up. Google and YouTube. Newborns in Gaza left to die. And go ahead and lie and say that didn't happen. That is grotesque. And why are IDF soldiers killing themselves at astronomical rates? Look how they come in here. Look how many they come. The Hasbara's here. Long live Israel. Inshallah yikhribet Israel. You ain't gonna long live shit. We all know what's gonna happen to you guys. You won't last one single week, one single day without American support. And that is dwindling away. I give you guys realistically 10 years. 10 years. Before all the boomers that you have by the balls and blackmail and, all them die. And the next generation, finally, we get rid of all of you, all the Congress people, all the senators, all the dual citizen fucking Zionist fucking cucks that run this place right now. Soon they will die. They don't live forever. They will die. And when they do, they will be replaced. And they're already being replaced. See, unfortunately, Congress, they pretty much, they have no limits as to how long they get their seat. They can retire, they can die. Most of them choose to die. And they do that on purpose because they're held by the balls by a foreign entity. But eventually they will die, and the next round will get their turn. The ones who watched you try to take their civil liberties, their freedom of speech, their civil rights, commit genocide. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Slavery took 400 years before it was abolished. Took time, but it happened. Yeah. I mean, the Holocaust lasted for quite a bit. Not that long, but enough. Too much time. You know, all atrocities eventually come to an end. And all fascist countries and unions, like the Soviet Union and all that, broke up. Nothing lasts forever. So I give you guys 10 years, realistically, before the boomers die, the cucks die off, and the new people replace them. And you guys are not going to lock in the American people for another 20 years. See, Israel sees the writing on the wall. That's why they're trying to get that 4 billion locked in. See, we were locked in for 10 years. That contract ends in 2028. They're trying to get it extended for another 20 years because they see the writing on the wall. Now, if we're lucky, see, inshallah, 2028 is when Trump, well, there'll be a new election, but he technically won't get out of office until 2029. So he'll still be president in 2028. Now, I'm hoping that this bounces back and forth just long enough to get him the fuck out so there's no extension. And I'm working on that. A lot of us are. And for sure, you will not get another 20 years. That I will do everything. Everybody needs to do everything in their power to stop that. We should not be locked in for 20 years. That means till 2048, we will be paying their dime, their insurance, their health insurance, their subsidized housing, feeding their economy, fighting their wars, shedding American soldiers' blood. Do you know that they convinced us to go to war in Iraq, yet they didn't send one IDF soldier to fight in it? Iraq was their enemy, and Bush happened to be an oil man. So, you know, it was in his best interest, too. He wanted that oil and that gold, and together they formulated this plan and blamed it on Iraq and Afghanistan, who are funny because they're enemy. I mean, the Al-Qaeda and Iraq, the Saddam Hussein, they were enemies. That was weird. Funny, ISIS never attacks Izzy Pop, but okay. Anyway, so that was their enemy. See, Saddam was a thorn in their side. Not that he was a great guy or anything. What he did to the Kurds was real fucked up, but he definitely was a supporter of Palestinians, and he did not bow down to them. Same with Syria. You see the pattern here? We fight their enemies. We shed our soldiers' blood. We pay our tax dollars in the trillions, and they don't even send one IDF soldier. Saddam was a man of the people, but not the Kurds. Sup, 4 eyes. I mean, these are reading glasses. Pussy. 4 eyes. I haven't heard that since like 1982. Anyway, he supported the Palestinians. I give him credit for that. He tried to hold his son, Hussein Qusay, accountable for the disgusting things that they did. But he also committed a genocide on Kurdish people because they were rising up against him, and that's fucked up. I don't care. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Anyway, I don't care if he supported my people or not. I know Americans commit genocide. I'm Palestinian. Ana Falastiniya, habibi. But he supported my people. I respect him for that, but I can't respect him killing innocent women, children. I can never respect that, no matter who it is. Even El Yahud, I can't respect that. In the Israeli Yahud, though, even the ones that hate us, I still can't respect killing innocent children and women. I have nothing to do with it, despite what their views are. As long as they didn't hurt anybody, they could think whatever they want, feel whatever they want. But if they didn't hurt anybody, they don't deserve to die. Nobody deserves to die unless they take a life, unless they harm people. A life for a life. I don't care where they're from. I don't care what their beliefs are. Nobody deserves to die for what they believe, no matter how shitty, abhorrent, or disgusting it is. Who do deserve to die are the ones that commit genocide. The ones that are just fascists, greedy, warmonger pieces of shit. They don't care about killing other people's kids and sending them to wars that make them rich. They deserve to die. Anyway, let me get off I'm getting pissed off even talking about this. All right, you guys. Who gave Grandma her phone back? Your mom did, bitch. Ogie. Does that say Ogie or ugly? Because you both. Anyway, all right. Love you guys. Grandma. You call me grandma because I got gray hair? Yeah, bitch. I'm 43 and I still look better than you, ho. And I've been gray since I was 19. Why? Because I'm wise. But not a wrinkle on this beautiful face. But I bet your ass will be getting Botox by the time you're 28, if you don't already. Stupid little hoe. Anyway, love you. I will see you in the next one. Toodles, bitch. Oh, and Gabby will be messaging you guys for tomorrow. I have to go to court because of the crazy tenant situation. I'll be in court tomorrow and the day after, all day. So there might be a delay on readings and the mini consults I'm going to try to get to, but if not, I'm getting to everybody ASAP, okay? Love you. Let's see what these weirdos have to say. My penis is small, help. People are so funny. You have no top lip. Looks like I have a top lip. Why? Because I don't get like a million injections? You guys think that looks good? I got enough top lip. Mwah. I have enough top lip to do the job, bitch. My lips are beautiful here and here. So you can eat a dick from the back so the asshole goes right in your nose and the balls slap you in the chin. Have a good night.